Bible verse of the day, September 16th, Thursday, Romans 8:26. Been Romans all week. I don't know why, but obviously it's a good message for us. So Romans 8:26, let me go there, read the whole thing, then get to the specific verse, and it says, mhm, let me see, how do you get this one? So actually, what's today? 18th? Yeah, today's the 18th. So I was on the wrong one. I already did Romans. That's why it seems familiar. But anyway, instead, the verse of the day for September 17th, which is Thursday, yesterday, comes from Proverbs 3:11 through 12. And the title is The Blessing of Wisdom. My son, don't forget my teaching. Remember what I tell you to do. What I teach will give you a good long life, and all will go well for you. Don't ever let look, don't ever let love and loyalty leave you. Tie them around your neck and write them on your heart. Then God will be pleased and think well of you, and so will everyone else. Trust the Lord completely and don't depend on your own knowledge. With every step you take, think about what He wants, and He will help you go the right way. Don't trust in your own wisdom, but fear and respect the Lord and stay away from evil. If you do this, it will be like a refreshing drink and medicine for your body. Honor the Lord with your wealth and the first part of your harvest. Then your barns will be full of grain, and your barrels will be overflowing with wine. My son, don't reject the Lord's discipline, and don't be angry when He corrects you. The Lord corrects the one He loves, just as a father corrects a child He cares about. Those who find wisdom are fortunate. They will be blessed when they gain understanding. Profit that comes from wisdom is better than silver and even the finest gold. Wisdom is worth more than fine jewels. Nothing you desire has more value. With her right hand, wisdom offers long life, and with the other hand, riches and honor. Wisdom will lead you to a life of joy and peace. Wisdom is like a life-giving tree to those who hold on to her. She is a blessing to those who keep her close. With wisdom and understanding, the Lord created the earth and sky. With His knowledge, He made the oceans and the clouds that produce rain. My son, don't ever let wisdom out of your sight. Hold on to wisdom and careful planning. They will bring you a long life filled with honor. As you go through life, you will always be safe and never fall. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you rest, your sleep will be peaceful. You have no reason to fear a sudden disaster or the destruction that comes to the wicked. You can trust the Lord to protect you. He will not let you fall into harm. Do everything you possibly can for those who need help. If your neighbors need something you have, don't say, "Come back tomorrow." Give it to him immediately. Don't make plans to harm your neighbor who lives near you and trusts you. Don't take people to court without good reason, especially when they have done nothing to harm you. Don't envy those who are violent. Never choose to be like them. Such crooked people are disgusting to the Lord, but He is a friend to those who are good and honest. The Lord curses a wicked family, but He blesses the homes of those who live right. He will humiliate those who make fun of others, but He is kind to those who are humble. The way the wise live will bring them honor, but the way fools live will bring them shame. So this is Proverbs. And if you listen to any of my messages before, I tell you that Proverbs is a book where it's just a lot of good wisdom, a lot of good advice. And I suggest if you ever want to read in the Bible that you start there. I always say start in Psalms and Proverbs and then go to the New Testament. The reason why is Proverbs just gives you common sense things, things that make sense to your body and your soul, your spirit, your mind. Everything in you says, this is the truth. And Proverbs is set that way just to give you good advice for life so that if you just work off those tips, then you will have success in your life just based on going by what it says there. Then you can move on to Psalms, which is a book of poems. It's a way of praising God. It's a lot of poems about a praise to God and about life and people going through things that are difficult and how they get out of things. There's just a whole bunch of songs in Psalms. Then I say go to the New Testament because that's where you'll start off hearing about the message of Jesus Christ and then see how he gave his life for you and what's to come after that. And then you might want to go back to the Old Testament, which is the foundation of all of this. So in that order, Proverbs, Psalms, New Testament, Old Testament is my suggestion. But we're in Proverbs today, and as I mentioned, Proverbs is a book of wisdom, and that's what it's spitting out right here. Every single section, every chapter, not chapter, what is this, a paragraph. Every paragraph I'm going through is showing you good tips about life. It's telling you if you want a long life, if you want it to be good, do not leave out wisdom in your life. Don't trust in your own wisdom, but fear and respect the Lord and stay away from evil. It's telling you all the things that you should do just to have a long, good life. So you might want to read through that again to get the specifics and be more in depth into what they're trying to tell us to do. The specific verse from it, let me go back, was Proverbs 3:11 through 12. Two verses, 11 and 12. So let me see what those say. Um, and it says, "My son, don't reject the Lord's discipline and don't be angry when he corrects you. The Lord corrects the one he loves, just as a father corrects a child he cares about." And that's very self-explanatory. Not much to dwell into on this part because you know what it's talking about. First of all, it starts off "my son." That doesn't necessarily mean this is only applying to men in the world. This is also for women, even though it says "my son." This is just someone having a conversation and spitting out wisdom, but they happen to say "my son." But this is for everybody. It's saying don't reject the Lord's discipline. If you're going in life and you know that you're supposed to be doing one thing and you're steadily doing the other, and you know it's in God's rules or in God's spirit that He's placed it in you to do something else and you keep doing your own thing, you're rejecting the Lord's discipline and the road and path that you're trying to follow down, even though it might seem okay right now. It might get disastrous at the end. So don't be angry when God tells you to go on his path instead of your own. Instead, just appreciate the correction and go where he's telling you to go. Now that can be the hardest thing in the world to do because me myself, I've experienced that myself. And when you want to do your own thing and God says, come over here and do something else, then you are stuck in the middle where you're wanting to do what God wants to do, but also wanting to do what you want to do. So it's a very difficult place. And I would wish it on nobody, but it's necessary to grow and develop into the being that God created you to be. So as much as possible, turn and obey God and do what he wants for your life instead of what you want to do for your own life. Next it says, the Lord corrects the one he loves, which is you. And it's just like how a father corrects a child he cares about. And I say this plenty of times in old videos where I say that if you want to know how God is, what he respects, how he acts, how he responds to situations, just really just place him into the mirror image of a family. If you're a parent, you know, if you want to tell your child to do this or that and the child wants to do something else, of course, you're going to correct them as best as you can without harassing them, without ridiculing them, without making them feel low, or if you're a good parent, without making them feel awful. You're just going to try to correct them so that they can go on the right path in life instead of going down their own path. So that's what it's all about. Listen to God, whatever plans he has for you, go ahead and might as well obey them because that's going to be the best plan for your life. And it's the care. Don't think that he's some kind of God that's just throwing lightning bolts at your life because you're not on his right path. No. How he corrects you is in care. He cares about you when he corrects you. And it'd be best to just follow his path because he knows the destruction that's up ahead. So I have a good example of that, but probably later another time I'll give it. But yeah, just obey God and know that he loves you. And yeah, that's all I can pull from that. So I will end this video and go on to today's actual video, which is February. What am I talking about? Friday, not February. Friday, I'm trying to think of the date. The 18th. Friday the 18th. September, Friday, 18th. That's what it is. So, goodbye.